those who don't know me, I'm Ma O, Canine Town proprietor. We're happy you're back to enjoy episode 2 of Adventures at Canine Town. All dogs welcome. The pack is about to leave for their journey into the mountains to meet leader Omar Blue's kin. It's the first time they'll be away from Canine Town for any length of time, so emotions are running high. Without further ado, let's continue our trek. Led by an eagle, an Omar Blue Canine Town adventure in rhymes. Chapter 4, Getting Ready. On the other side of a thick oak tree stood Rhodesian Ridgebacks, coffee and tea, growling to bulldogs Betty and Jim where the others couldn't see. They were going after the mountain lions to keep the threat away from the pack. No time to wait, let's get it done, get it over, and come right back. Was then that Omar scurried up. He knew they had to go. Hunting lions was in their blood. He never thought of saying no. He woofed, "You four, you go ahead, but do what I tell you to. Don't approach the mountain lions. Just keep them in your view. They ain't enough to be a threat. They'll plan to pick up more. Gonna let them see us leaving. They'll follow us for sure." The four glanced at each other, then gazed at Omar Blue. They knew a plan was in the works. What was their leader up to? They'd do what Omar asked them. They would look but wouldn't touch, 'cause Omar's plans were worth it. The whole pack knew that much. Coffee, tea, Betty, and Jim trotted off to take the lead as Omar Blue stood savoring the bravery of their deed. Chapter 5, Mountain Lion Strategy. What is that booby up to? You know, he's the one who started it, if you recall. He started by messing with Rottweiler Brady, trying to fight him. But he got what was coming to him. And now, anyway, Booby was pacing up and down, his roars the only sound. The one thing on his evil mind was destroying Canine Town. "They're going somewhere," he bellowed, "trying to get away. Won't expect us to follow, then pounce on them one day. We got kin any way they go. We'll pick 'em up as we pass. Omar's pack won't know what hit 'em, getting rid of them dogs at last. Go get word to our kinfolk. Let 'em know we're coming their way. Gonna teach them dogs a lesson. Ain't waiting another day." The mountain lions were thoughtful. They knew of Omar's pack. They led a peaceful lifestyle, but wouldn't run from no attack. Then add on that big crazy wolf, they call him Wolf Benny Bay. He's now a member of Omar's pack. Maybe we should stay away. Chapter 6, Off to see Omar's kin. Leaving their beloved home, a thing real hard to do. But all was well and they'd be back. They were following Omar Blue. As Omar Blue was moving out, a figure caught his eye. A familiar giant eagle was slowly passing by. He circled Omar's entire pack while barely in the sky, then flew off like a flash of light without catching another eye. They moved all night, then rested. No reason to travel fast. They'd enjoy this time away from home to meet Omar's kin at last. On they went the first day, till night began to fall. They stopped to eat, got off their feet, still excited, one and all. They gathered in a circle, males and females too. The puppies over to the side, but always in full view. The pack had so much fun that night they didn't get much rest. Couldn't tell it the next morning though, for they all were at their best. The females set out for a run. The puppies wanted one too. They scampered out behind them. Why not? Nothing better to do. The females started at a trot, then slowly picked up speed, the smallest having as much fun as the big dogs in the lead. The males sat watching cheerfully, as proud as they could be. Then Omar Blue stood up and howled, "Do you all see what I see?" Was the Commodore Rasta Mama and Great Dane Granny, too, the seers, racing through the females, then gone from everyone's view. The male dogs couldn't contain it, all but Omar Blue. They laughed, howled, leaped up high, knowing what they saw was true. Omar glanced at Major Diggs, Lab Dalmatian, second in charge. The looks they passed were serious, the facts they couldn't dodge. The seers were on a mission. What were they planning to do? Better go behind them just in case Major Diggs would watch the crew. Chapter 7, Chasing the Spirits. Omar took off like a shot, running at top speed, then slowed up when he saw them. Didn't want to take the lead. He knew where they were going, to check on the scouting for the Ridgebacks and the Bulldogs in their dreams, the ones they saw. Meanwhile, watching the mountain lions doing what they'd been told. Coffee, tea, Betty and Jim heard Booby talking bold. They noticed everything he said. Omar Blue had said it too. But they would never understand how he knew what the lions would do. They listened to hear something new while playing and having fun, especially Bulldogs Betty and Jim, whose romance had just begun. Uh-oh, what's that? Something in the bushes. They hear something. Suddenly, their ears perked up. All four heard the sound. They glared towards the disruption, surprised at what they found. Commodore Rasta Mama and Great Dane Granny too, peeping through the bushes, yelled, "We had to come find you." The scouts knew of their potions, so they cast the feet aside. More important now was them being there, how they know where they would hide. Great Dane Granny was first to bark, "We had to come see you. There's danger lurking around our pack, so this we had to do. We ran away the bad spirits surrounding our mighty pack, then had to do the same for you. Now we gotta get right back. Soon Omar will be looking to see where we've gone. Don't want our leader to worry. We'd better keep moving on." Rasta Mama grumbled, "She's right, we'd better go. We'll slip back in among our kin. Omar will never know." The seers scampered off. Omar sat and listened while the seers had their say. They'd done what they set out to do, had to do it their own way. Great Dane Granny and Rasta Mama, those two were having fun. No need to ever mention the danger in what they'd done. Chapter 8, The Seers Repent. Later on that afternoon, the pair came heads hung low, potions wearing off then, tired and walking slow. "Omar, we got to tell you, we did something bad today. We left the pack, went on our own. We ran a long, long way. They told about their visit to the others in his care. We had to chase the bad spirits we knew were hanging there. Don't you worry, Omar. Our scouts are now okay, doing just what you told them and taking time out to play. Now please excuse us, leader. We're tired as can be. They turned and walked together, but much too sluggishly. The potions gave them powers for their unnatural acts, but left their bodies weakened. They never accepted that fact. They had no way of knowing Omar had signaled the scouting four. As they rose to follow the seers, Omar was what they saw. They understood his motions without a spoken word, knowing the seers were in good hands with Omar riding herd. Now, let's get back to Booby just for a minute. Booby had added to his pride the count, about 22. Still wasn't sure that was enough to handle Omar Blue. They've headed up into the hills. We got plenty kin up there. Let's wait a little longer, and then we'll start to prepare. Gonna teach 'em not to mess with us. Gonna make 'em leave this land. When we get finished with Omar's pack, they'll finally understand. As Mountain Lion Booby got on his way, he glanced up to the sky, where the warrior eagle called Maxine was slowly passing by. It circled the mountain lion's pride, so low, barely in the sky, then flew off like a flash of light without catching another eye. And that's the end of Chapter 8. I hope you've enjoyed Episode 2. Join us next time as we journey further into the unknown. But before you leave, don't forget, please subscribe if you haven't already. I don't want you to miss anything. So take care now. Bye-bye.